Peace, family. Thank you so much for tuning in with me again today. Today's message is just going to be really different from the ones that I've been doing. I thought I would just switch it up a little bit and make it more natural for myself so I can convey my messages a lot more effectively to you. Number one, when I do my readings, I'm so not used to this where to look thing. And if I'm worried about where I'm looking, then I can't send the messages through and read the cards properly. So if you see my eyes closing or looking somewhere else, it's just because I'm trying to get in tune with what it is I'm doing. All right, so I'm just going to be shuffling on camera. And sometimes I may cut the clip because the shuffling may take a little while. Okay, so group number one, this is how we're going to do it. We have this stone here. It is the amethyst. It's a beautiful stone. Lots of wonderful properties that will help you in your day-to-day life. You can do the research on that for yourself. Group number two, and the timestamps will definitely be below. Group number two, this is the rose quartz. This is another wonderful stone, a gentle, loving stone. Lots of properties as well that you can research. And group number three, this is the black tourmaline. Absolutely gorgeous stone as well. Very good for protection. All right, so group number three, it's the black tourmaline, good stone for protection. So I'm just going to do some shuffling to begin with. These are just messages that will be coming towards you in the future. Sent to you not from the ancestors or spirit guides, but sent to you from different types of entities like fairies, witches, shaman. Well, I know shaman are people, but different types of people. So different types of energies coming towards you. So let's start with the tarot cards for group number one. This is the message coming towards you. If you hear anything in the background, sorry, that's my husband and my children who don't know how to whisper. So please just bear with me. All right, there's one card. I only take one card at a time, guys. I only do the ones that jump out. So I'm looking for 3 cards to tell group number one what they have coming towards them. Any advice from any energies out there. We may even get specific messages from specific energies. So maybe we can find out who's sending the messages. It's just a really casual reading, guys. It's just going to be like about 10 minutes long. I'm going to skip over some of the shuffling and keep it moving. All right. So cards we have here are Queen of Wands, Seven of Swords, and the Strength card. Okay, so right off the bat, if I just look at the cards, I can see that coming towards you in the next between now and the end of the year, it's going to be a time for you to gain a lot of confidence. Over the past couple of years, your confidence could have taken a hit because of different things that have come up in your life, different trials and tribulations that you've gone through, maybe different obstacles that you've encountered over the past, I would say, year or two. And now is the time to let go of those things. You've probably come into contact with people who have tried to get the better of you, who've tried to maybe trick you or deceive you, or maybe you've had some friends who you thought were genuine and you came to find out that they were not genuine and they didn't have your back like they should. So now is the time that you are slowly going to gather your strength and you are going to realize and see these people for who they really are. Your power of discernment is going to get very strong. Your third eye is going to open up if you so desire. But I feel like you're going to be at a higher vibration now, group number one, because you're going to, just open up to who these people around you or who these people around you really are or what the situations really are. You're going to see things with a more clear eye because you are going to have a boost in your confidence. And I do believe that's just going to be the way things will be for you from now on. I think group number one, a lot of you are empathic. A lot of you have your sixth sense is well intact. Some of you can be very sensitive to different energies and people who are around you. You could probably, your intuition I think is very strong, and you probably are the type of people who once you meet somebody, you can get a vibe off them right away. And you probably downplay it because you're not quite sure if you're right. You don't want to be like one of those people who's weird or, you know, into that kind of stuff. But you are definitely a very intuitive group, and it makes sense that you would choose the amethyst as well because that's very good for that. But I feel like, yeah, the trickery, because I see a lot of crows in this card, the Seven of Swords, and that usually suggests to me when I see crows, trickery, a lot of trickery, and things are not always what they seem, that type of thing. So if you've had friends around you who you weren't too sure about their intentions towards you, slowly but surely you are going to be able to discern who is there for you and who is not, and you are going to have to gather a lot of strength to do something about it. Not to just stay in, you know, the same situation that you're in. All right, it doesn't have to necessarily be people, but I feel like it's people, but it could also be a situation that's not benefiting you. All right, let me pick, I'm just going to pick any cards, any oracle cards. Let's get a little bit more of advice for group number 1 about what is coming towards you, how things will change for you, what to expect. All right, this one turned over. Island, solitude. Okay, so that's exactly what I was just saying to you. You're going to have to leave certain situations that are not benefiting you, that are no longer serving you. And like, you don't have to necessarily physically leave. Like I always say, sometimes it's not you know, logical to actually, practical to actually do that. But you can also leave emotionally, meaning you don't have to have any kind of attachment to that situation. You could say, okay, I know that this situation is not working for me, so I am going to distance myself from it. I'm going to cut myself off from it. There will no longer be an exchange between my energy and their energy. I will no longer give life to this dead-end situation that I'm not happy with. Doing those types of things take a lot of confidence in yourself. They take a lot of strength in who you are. You have to understand who you are as a person and really embrace that, to be able to say, okay, you know what, this situation is not working for me anymore and I need to do something about it. Those things are not easy. That's why a lot of people stay in the same dead-end jobs or bad relationships for as long as they do. It's not because they're dummies and they have no sense. It's because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. It's hard to cut yourself off from a situation because it's usually involving people or situations that mean something to you. You have a connection towards, and that's what keeps you there. That's what keeps you stuck. And eventually it ends up picking away at who you are and ruining your self-esteem. All right, so we have here, this card says Earth Magic. All right, so now's a good time, like we're talking about these stones, get in touch with your crystals, go outside, participate in things called earthing, walking out in bare feet, grounding yourself. You can go outside and you can also listen to sounds of nature. You can also go out under the full moon and get the energies of the full moon. You could also do things like, this is not necessarily earth magic, but it's more celestial magic, but you can do things like sun gazing, those types of things, because you should be working on getting in touch with your intuition and trusting your gut and having the confidence to do so. That's very, very important, because eventually you will realize that you possess more of a magician energy where you can manifest and make things what you want them to be. Okay, soon things are going to change for you and you're going to become a different version of yourself. Not completely different, but a better version of yourself. The self that you've always wanted to get to know, the self that you've always wanted to portray to people. And you're going to do that through confidence, strength, and opening up your self and your intuition to whatever is going on around you. All right. I also see you by the moons here. We got full moons. We got a black cat. Makes me think that you are going to do a lot of shadow work to have to gain a lot of confidence in yourself. And that's also going to take a lot of strength, because shadow work is not usually that pleasant. It's something that a lot of people put off and they never actually take seriously. They never actually do anything about it because it's not pleasant. So this is going to be a time for you to do that. Get in there, do the hard work, put in the work quietly. Like it says, solitude. You don't have to let everybody know exactly what you're doing and what your goals are. But you should definitely work on dealing with any like traumatic situations from when you were younger. So you can put those issues to rest and they don't traumatize you, they don't hold you back, they don't obstruct you from bettering yourself, because that's what's coming towards you. Group number one is going to be a betterment of who you are, and just a leveled up version of yourself. This card that we got here is empowerment. All right, so when I see this card to begin with, I feel like some of you could have had past lives as a witch. I do believe that. You could have had some kind of situations where you were persecuted in your past lives, and the messages are coming through to you right now. Could be ancestries, meaning like your ancestors could have been witches, for example, letting you know that yes, this is in your bloodline and you need to get in touch with that. You need to bring that back out so that you can become the person you're supposed to be and live your purpose in this world. That is the only time when you'll be able to feel empowered. If we look at these three cards here, we see these cards, the Queen of Wands, strength and empowerment, talk about just that strength, empowerment, bettering yourself, being proud of who you are, your good parts and your bad parts, not just what looks good, to others out there. So group number one, you can expect to level up and end up being very proud of who you are and not feeling like you have to hide the things that you've done in your past or things that have happened to you that you're not particularly proud of. Now you can wear all of your experiences with pride and understand that yes, they had a hand of making you, adding to who you are, but they're not all. That's not the only. That's not just you. That's not all you are. You're not just your past negative experiences. You are also somebody who's working on bettering yourself and being proud of who you are and showing people and proving to people that, yeah, you're not ashamed of who you are. You own everything that you've been through. You heal from it and you do it as an inside job. Okay, so this is the last oracle card I'll pick for group number one. Just a quick message. I just want to see how I like this style of doing readings. It's a little bit more relaxed for me, so I can convey the messages a little easier. Okay. So the last card here says, unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. So like I was telling you, these are messages for sure, coming from further back of a bloodline, letting you know, don't fear, don't feel bad about what has happened to you in your past. Don't worry about how people view you. If they question you, what you're about, or they make you feel poorly about yourself, you are exactly where you need to be. You needed to go through a lot of the things that you've gone through so that you could be you can level up and become a better version of yourself. The reason why I believe that some of you were either witches in your past life or you had witches in your ancestry is because check these pictures out. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm getting like heavy witch, sorcerer, alchemist type of vibes, okay? Like some of you can also be very good manifestors as well. Once you put your mind to it, you can do whatever it is you set out to do and make things appear out of nothing, it seems. That's why I believe that we got a lot of magician energy here. And what else I was going to say? You can use the elements, or you were used to using the elements in your past, and that's something that you're being encouraged to get in touch with now. Again, writing spells, incantations, mantras, affirmations, those types of things. So you can make your life the way you want it to be. And group number one, you're being shown that once you get the strength, you have the strength and the fortitude and the endurance, the stamina, all of those things to achieve whatever it is you want in this life. All right, Seven of Wands is the card that came up. Like, I see a lot of Wands energy. It makes me feel like There is a passion that's lying dormant within you that you need to get in touch with, tap into, look into your intuition, and, like, get in touch with your intuition, get into that kind of centered zone, do a lot of meditation, and let your passion for life be reignited, and then you'll be able to become the person that you're supposed to be and live your purpose. You may feel like sometimes you are persecuted. Like I said, the Seven of Wands makes me think of that. You may have been persecuted in past lives and brought it over, those feelings, into this life, or you may feel persecuted in this life for your beliefs and for you living your true, authentic version of yourself. But don't worry about it. Just keep tapping into your strength. Keep, make sure that you are your best, like you enjoy your own company, meaning you don't need a whole bunch of people around you, as some of you could be very well empathic, and that could kind of throw you off your game. So group number 1, that was your reading. That's what's coming towards you. A lot of empowerment, a lot of strength, a lot of getting in touch with who you're supposed to be, what your purpose is in this life, and what your mission is. Because you are going to be an example to other people on how to live your life authentically and unapologetically. All right, so group number 1, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope you enjoyed what I said, and I hope something I said resonated with you today. Take care, guys. Bye. Hi, group number 2. Those of you who chose the rose quartz, beautiful stone, this is your reading. So the way I'm going to do it today, this is a message that's coming to you from an entity, different energies, not necessarily the ancestors and spirit guides, but I'm thinking more of shaman. I'm talking about witches. I'm talking about fairies. I'm talking about those types of entities, energies. They're sending you a message of what's coming towards you, what to expect within the next 6 months or so. All right, so let me just shuffle the tarot cards. We'll take 3. Thank you. I'm feeling like there's a lot of empowerment that's coming towards you and hope, because things have been pretty despondent lately. So I feel like this is a time where people are going to feel a lot more happy with who they are and not as worried and fearful. All right, so I'm not doing reversals today. Let me check the time. All right, so the first one we have here is the Hierophant. Okay, second one is 8 of Swords. And the third one is the Knight of Swords. All right, so group number 2, I feel like things are going to be happening very, very quickly for you. I do believe that it's going to be a period between now and the end of the year of very fast and rapid learning. You're going to be shedding and regrowing a lot of things very, very, very quickly. Sometimes it'll be to the point where you can't get your footing because you feel like everything is happening very quickly. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can throw you off, so you need to be aware of that. Sometimes as well, I do feel like group number 2, when this is the time that you're going to be leveling up, it's going to throw you off. You're going to question yourself. You're going to question what's happening. The energies are letting you know, no, do not question yourself. You need to keep pushing towards what you know is right. Like I said, with group number 1 as well, group number 2, I feel like this is a time where you're going to get in touch with your purpose and your mission in life. And it's going to happen very, very quickly for you. It may catch you off guard, but eventually the energy will level out and you won't feel so thrown off or so taken aback by what's coming at you very quickly. What was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, group number 2, this is all about betterment, but it's also about not getting tricked into believing something else. It's about knowing your truth and standing by it and not letting other people or other situations come and switch you around. This is also going to be a period of a lot of learning where you're going to take courses, or something is going to come at you one day where you're going to decide that you want to start learning how to become a tarot reader or something like that, for example. Something that's going to add on to you as a person. And I don't necessarily see it as something that's going to be used for money purposes. Like, I don't think you're going to be doing it for employment or a job or anything that's going to pay you. I feel like it's just going to be for you yourself, to better yourself and to kind of get out of this lack mindset, or move away from people who have a lack mindset as well, and who are making you feel like, you know what, this is our lot in life, and there's nothing more that can come of it. You're going to get away from those people, you're going to move away from those ideas, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. So prepare yourself. All right, so I'm going to choose from this oracle deck, and it may be uncomfortable, but that's when the growth happens, and it's going to move you towards more enlightenment and a sense of security with who you are as a person and what you bring to this world. It may be a situation where group number 2, some of you have been feeling lost. Not even just recently, but I'm thinking for like your whole lives, wondering where you fit in and why certain things happen to you, why certain people deal with you the way they do. Now is a time when it's going to be like, it's going to start making sense, but it's going to happen very, very quickly. And you will also end up questioning, like, wow, how did my life become like this all of a sudden? It used to look so different not only 6 months ago or 3 months ago. Things will take a shift. It doesn't have to necessarily be a physical shift, because I feel like it's not necessarily going to be a physical shift. It's going to be a spiritual shift. It's going to be a mental shift. It's going to be an emotional shift. You are going to start doing things differently and responding to situations differently. And you're going to impress yourself, because you're going to wonder, where are you getting this kind of, energy from, and these new vibes from, where you are not just falling into the same old tricks that you used to. You're not going to behave the same way you used to. You're not going to see situations the same way you used to. And then you won't be triggered from situations like you used to be. All right, so let me try and get a card. The card doesn't. Let me try a different pile. Nothing wants to come out of that. All right. So this one we have here says taking shelter. The answers are within. Like I just said, it's not necessarily a physical change. It's not necessarily a physical leveling up. It's going to be an inner situation. It's going to be an inner work situation. It's going to be you having to deciding that one day this is not good enough for you anymore. You want to learn some more. You want to, and it doesn't have to even be something so groundbreaking. It could be something like you decide that you want to pick up cooking, for example. And then as things progress, you're going to start wanting to get into more holistic cooking, for example, or more natural way of cooking, a healthier way of cooking. Maybe some of you may become vegans, may become vegetarians. You're going to do things that are going to add to you through a means that you wouldn't have expected, like an unexpected means. So like I said, you're going to take a cooking class and you're going to end up becoming someone who knows how to cook very proficiently with natural herbs and spices. And then maybe that will end up being that you're going to get into gardening and you're going to end up planting your own foods, and you're going to get into organic ways of eating, and you're going to help other people, to learn how to cook the same way, that kind of thing. But it's going to happen very, very quickly. So don't question yourself. Like the Eight of Swords was saying, that you're going to be questioning yourselves. People are going to question you as well. Don't lose faith and don't get discouraged. You have to know what you're doing is right, because you have, like it says here, the answers are within. So don't fear, never fear. All right. The next card we have here is the Child, and it's a number 7. So your spirituality is definitely going to come into play for the next little while as well. Spirituality, you could be also religious, doesn't matter. You're going to get more in touch with your God self. You're going to get more in touch with those types of energies. You're going to listen to your gut a little more, into your intuition. Maybe some of you will get into meditation, that type of stuff. You're going to be doing a lot of that type of inner work. And a lot of you are going to have to get in touch with your child, your inner child and deal with a lot of trauma, a lot of healing from things that have happened to you when you were younger. And, that's going to also help you be able to move forward in your life as well. Sometimes things that have happened to you in your younger years could be responsible for blocking you from learning more in your adult life. So for you to end up having a clean slate and a clear mind to learn and to take on a different way of living and a different way of viewing your own reality, you're going to have to deal with and heal a lot of the stuff that has happened to you in your younger years. And that's not going to be easy. That's not going to be something that is necessarily pleasant, because a lot of people have experienced major traumas when they were younger, but it's something that's very necessary, and it's something that you'll end up just falling into. It'll be a natural progression. It won't be something that will feel forced. It'll be just something that one day you'll come to the conclusion that, you want better for yourself, and you got to check and see, what happened when you were younger. You got to address it. You got to make peace with it. You got to heal from it. Okay, so let me just finish. All right, so group number 2. We've got this card here that says Life Energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. I just said that. So a lot of inner child work. You're going to have to deal with a lot of your traumas. You're going to have to deal with a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, feelings of inferiority that are going to hold you back. All of those things, if not dealt with properly, are going to hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself and from leveling up. Also, I see some of you going to counselors or psychiatrists, that type of thing, or psychologists to help you deal with some of it, which is good. You're also going to end up figuring out why it is you react to things the way you do as well. And I think a lot of this learning that I see happening for you is going to be learning about yourself and who you are and what makes you tick. And then you'll be able to kind of clear all of that old clutter and be able to welcome new ways of living and doing. Sorry, my camera died. Okay, so the last one says come together. Fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps get the job done. All right, so even though, like I was just saying, this is an inside job and it's something that you have to do for yourself, you don't have to do it alone. Like I just said, you can go to counselors, you can go to psychologists, psychiatrists, you can have friends that you can talk to whose opinion you value. You can also go to family members, but you can also go to, let's say you're religious, you can go to your priest or your pastor, your deacon, you can go to imam, you can go to a rabbi, anybody to get, answers to your questions. You could also go to a guru, somebody you see even on YouTube that will give you the answers you're searching for. It doesn't have to be you working at this hard job towards elevation and leveling up. It doesn't have to happen alone. It doesn't happen, you don't have to do it by yourself. What else? All right. I'm also getting the feeling that self-talk is very important as well. How you deal with yourself and what you say to yourself during this time is also very important, because getting in touch with who you are and bettering yourself and diving deep could be a very traumatic, painful, and frustrating experience. So don't lose your patience towards yourself. Don't lose patience with yourself. Take time. Speak to yourself like you would to a baby. This is why we have the child card here. When you deal with yourself as you would a child. You have to be patient. You have to encourage them. You have to encourage yourself with love and patience, understanding, no judgment. Understand that you are working towards bettering yourself and doing better than you did before. So no harshness towards yourself. That's not going to help you learn. That's going to hold you back. So be mindful of your words and how they impact you and how painful they can be, how they can hurt, how they can cut. Also be aware of how words can empower and uplift and encourage and breathe new life into your situation as well. So I'm just going to choose one more tarot card to see if there's any other messages for you, group number 2. And that will be the end of the reading. Let's see. Ooh. All right. I don't usually choose 2, but I feel like this is definitely something that's meant for you. All right. So these 2 came out one right after the other. We have the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Like I said, progression. Progression is coming at you. Things are going to be moving and grooving very quickly. You're going to be leveling up very, very quickly. I know it'll be a work in progress, like you were working on leveling up, but then all of a sudden you're going to start getting the results. I feel like that's because it's going to be a little gift from the universe. It's going to be a gift from the energies around you who are saying, you know what, you've done a lot of work. Things have been kind of difficult and trying and traumatic for you. Maybe you've reached kind of a stalemate in your past where you feel like nothing is really happening. You're just doing the same thing over and over again, like you're on a hamster wheel. Now is the time that energy is going to move aside. You're going to start leveling up and getting more and more knowledge and bettering yourself. And that little nudge and all of the stuff that's going to come towards you, the abundance and the movement and the energy and the passion, that's a little gift from the universe to you because they understand your heart and they understand that things are going to get better. Things should get better for you. You deserve it. So don't lose hope in your situation. I want you to keep your head up, keep your chin up, speak to yourself with patience, deal with yourself with patience, the way you would deal with a child. And don't get too caught up in what others think of you and keep leveling up. All right, your abundance will come. All right, group number 2, that was your reading. I hope something I said today resonated with you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Until we see each other again, bye guys. For those of you who chose group number 3, this is your reading. You chose the black tourmaline. Very nice stone. The way I'm going to do it right now is I'm just going to start with the tarot cards. These messages are messages about what is coming towards you in the next 6 months to a year. These messages are going to be coming from different energies, not necessarily the spirit guides or the ancestors. I'm talking more of witches, sorcerers, fairies, leprechauns, all of those wonderful energies that a lot of you resonate with out there. So we're going to take one more tarot card, perfect, and we're going to find out what's coming towards you guys. I'm not dealing with reversals today. All right, so we have here the 8 of Cups. We have here the 6 of Swords. And we have the King of Wands. All right, so I'm feeling movement. You're going to be moving, and I'm feeling like either traveling, moving, picking up houses and going somewhere where you feel more safe, you feel more wanted. Some of you could be living in a living situation that is just not doing it for you. That's maybe holding you down, not making you happy, not filling your cup, making you feel, like you're not content, you're not fulfilled, and things are just kind of meeting like a stalemate for you. There's nothing more that can be achieved from the situation you're in. And I feel like you will move on from something. Something is going to cause you to move on. You can move on physically, or you can move on emotionally. You can move on mentally. Like outgrowing people to a certain extent, that is you moving on from them as well. So it could be some kind of moving on, just for the sake of, your mental health, for the sake of your emotional health. And it's not necessarily something that you want to do, but it's something that has to be done. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel stronger for it. You are going to feel empowered. You're going to feel a sense of confidence in your ability to make decisions. Maybe you questioned yourself before, but this is going to give you a sense of confidence in who you are and your ability to do the right thing for you. And just to make choices, if you decide that, okay, this situation is not for me, you go, you pick up and you say, okay, this is going to be really hard, but I know it's something that has to be done. And you move and you go somewhere else and you find happiness there, that's gonna boost your confidence in your abilities to make the right decision for you and for maybe your family as well. Let's see what we can get from any tarot card. Oracle cards. Let's go here. Yeah, I just see like maybe you're going through situations right now where you're not happy, you're not comfortable, you're not fulfilled. Maybe you have to walk on eggshells when you're around people. You don't want to say certain things to make them, trigger them, or maybe even you're walking on eggshells so you don't trigger yourself in a certain situation. But within the next 6 months to a year, there's going to be some kind of movement, some kind of leaving something behind, leaving someone behind, leaving a home behind, maybe even moving to another country, changing jobs perhaps that are not happy for you. That are not doing it for you anymore, where you're not happy. And you're going to gather so much strength in yourself, in your abilities. You're going to feel like you can achieve anything after that. So it may be a period of some difficulty. You may feel like you're toiling and you're not getting any kind of relief, but eventually you will, and you're going to be better for it. Because the life you're going to lead after that is going to be a life of confidence and inner confidence, a quiet confidence in knowing what you're capable of. You're not going to question yourself like you usually do anymore. All right, let's see what oracle card we have here. Home. I was just saying that. So some of you are going to move homes. You're going to buy a new home. You're going to have a new living arrangement. And that one that's going to be more comfortable for you. And at the beginning, it's going to throw you off because it's going to be a full change of the way you're used to doing things. Like I said, some of you may do something as drastic as moving countries, and it's going to be difficult for you because maybe at the beginning, maybe you don't even speak the language, right? So it's going to take some time for you to get comfortable with your new surroundings, but eventually it will be home, and it will be a place where you can call home with confidence. You will have your sense of peace. Maybe some of you will leave a situation where you had lots of people around you, and now you're going to be alone because you've moved. And that feeling of aloneness and isolation and loneliness, should I say, that is going to be very uncomfortable for you at the beginning. But as time goes on, you're going to understand that that feeling had to happen, and it is for the betterment of your soul and who you are as a person and your confidence. All of these things that will happen to you will be there to boost you up as a person. Okay, so that was really cool, actually. I feel like there's a lot of movement, like I said. You can see in these two cards, we have somebody on a boat going somewhere new because of choppy, turbulent waters. Oh, that's here. And then here you have somebody leaving behind something to seek betterment. Okay? And they don't look like they're necessarily prepared, to be honest, for their journey, but they still have the need, this calling to move. Okay? Let's take this card. All right, so this card says manifestation. Be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life. Now write it down on paper. Manifestation, step 1. Very cool. So whatever it is you want for yourself, even if you're in a situation that you are unhappy, and you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, how am I going to move homes? Maybe I don't have any money. Maybe I don't know where I would go to. How would I ever end it off with this situation and be able to go and strike out on my own? How is all this going to be possible? Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just know that it will happen. The key to manifestation is not necessarily worrying about so much about the how, and just worry about the what. Write down, journal, all the things that you want to bring forth into your life, why you want those things. Put yourself in the state of feeling what it would feel like once you finally do get those things, and continue to concentrate on that. Don't worry about if it's possible. Don't worry about how you're going to make it happen. Just know within yourself that it will happen. Your situation will get better. There will be betterment for you, and in a year or so, your reality, your environment is going to look completely different. Whatever that means to you, it's going to look completely different to you than it does now. Yeah, I feel like group number 3, you're really going to follow your heart on this, and you're not going to be so worried about practicality. You're going to be worried about, more concerned with your own feelings and your own emotions and your own betterment. And it's not going to feel good at the beginning, but it's going to be something that you know you have to do. Like I said with this card here, it's not going to be easy. You're going to be maybe struggling a little bit at the beginning, but you know that it's something that's going to better your situation. And so that's why that brings us to this card here, the sacrifice. Okay, and it's the number 44. 44 can mean a lot for a lot of people, the number 444, 44. But for me, I believe that, let's just talk about the number 4, for example. That has a lot to do with stability. If you think about a square, if you think about a table, things with 4 legs, they're very stable, very secure. And I do believe that this card is letting you know that if you sacrifice, when you sacrifice, certain things that maybe held a lot of importance to you before, in will come the stability. That's when you'll start feeling like, okay, you know, you have a good sense of where you're supposed to be now. In will flood the masculine energy, let's say, where you will feel more firmly footed in where you are. You won't feel so thrown off. You'll go from being like on a shaky boat and not being able to gather yourself and get your footing to standing very firmly footed where you are and making your home yours. And however that looks, other people may see what you're doing as kind of crazy. Maybe you're up and leaving to go somewhere else, to another country, to start a new life there. People will look at you like you're nuts, but this is something you have to do for the sake of your own good, for the sake of your future. All right, let me do one more card. This one. One more deck, one more oracle card for group number 3. So expect a lot of change. Your environment is going to look very different for you in a year or so compared to how it looks right now. And when you get there, you're going to sit back and think about where you are now and be in awe about how different things look. And you're going to wonder how you ever survived living the way you did in the past. How you ever lived in a situation that was maybe so toxic, or that like hindered you from being who you really should be, who you want to be, maybe in such an oppressive situation, and now you have such a sense of freedom, and it's just going to look totally different. You're going to also have a new level of respect for yourself because you were able to achieve everything you achieved, and how difficult things were, how daunting it seemed, but you still went ahead with it because you knew that that was something that you had to do for your own betterment, for your own sake. All right. Sorry, let me get the card over here. This card says, Dawn, new beginnings. Okay, guys, you see me shuffling? It's coming out for a reason. New beginnings. You're going to end up starting afresh, making somewhere new your home. You can also find home in someone else as well. Another group of people. Maybe you have this type of friends that you didn't vibe with, but later on you find a new tribe. They can give you that sense of home as well. And it's hard to cut off a group of friends that maybe you have a history with, maybe even if it's not even the best history, it could be a toxic history, but you stick with them because that's where you're comfortable. But once you let go of maybe that group of friends, as difficult as it may be, to go out there and find a new tribe, a new best friend, that's going to be difficult. But once you find it, it will feel just like home. It'll feel like you've never left. It'll feel like you've known these people your whole life, or for lifetimes. Okay, so I picked another tarot card just to kind of sum up the reading. Oh my God. And this one is the Fool. The Fool card is about new beginnings. The Fool card is about trusting and, trusting in yourself, but also trusting in what's going to happen, not worrying too much about the how, but more concentrating on the what. So don't get caught up in if what you want is possible or if it's for you, if you deserve it, how you're going to go about doing it, what the steps are. Don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on what you want and be very, very specific about what you want your life to look like in 6 months to a year from now. Don't get caught up in whether you deserve it. Don't get caught up in what other people are going to think. You need to concentrate on what it is you want. That's not selfish. That is something that you deserve. That is your right to seek, a better version of yourself in this realm. And this is what you're being told. The energies are letting you know that your life is going to look completely different in 6 months to a year from now. It's not going to be the easiest journey, but it will be a journey that will definitely lead towards your happiness, your fulfillment, and feeling secure in who you are as a person and where you fit in this world. So go out there, group number 3, manifest. Talk to the energies, talk to yourself, write it down, record it. Keep it on your mind, whatever it is. Get that kind of tunnel vision, whatever it is you want to achieve for yourself. And be prepared, though. Prepare yourself. If this is what you want and your destination is here, be prepared that you have to leave this behind. You're going to have to sacrifice this old life to get the new life, because you can't bring in something new when the old stuff is still hanging around. Okay? So group number 3, big things are coming for you in the very near future. Embrace it all. Don't get too caught up in the little specifics. Look at the whole picture, and that will help you better deal with what's going on in your life and help you keep your eye on the prize. Don't lose sight of what it is you want to achieve for yourself. Don't lose sight on the life that you want to live, okay? Because this life is yours to decide whatever it is you want for you. Nobody else should decide that. Nobody else has that power over you. You have your own free will. So go out there and grab it. Self-actualization is the name of the game for group number 3. You are master manifestors, whether you know it or not. You will become. After you manifest this situation, you'll get more confidence in yourself and you'll be able to manifest more freely because you will have the confidence that you'll be able to do it. All right, so group number 3, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope something I said today resonated with you. Until we see each other again, guys. Bye.